Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist. I own 53 units of real estate and I help coach people to buy their first multifamily deal. So today I want to talk about getting organized and optimizing my real estate portfolio and what this entails. So obviously, I've been buying a lot of real estate from 2017. I bought a lot of real estate in 2021. I bought my 26 unit apartment complex, which I was renovating. I bought my mobile home park, which I was renovating. I bought my 20 unit in 2022, which I was renovating. Ended up selling my mobile home park end of November of 2023 for a loss because it was losing money. It was a bad deal. I finished renovating my 20 unit. I finished renovating my 26 unit. So now from November of 2023, I've been focused on stabilizing my portfolio and then stabilizing my personal life, right? So since November of 2023, I ended up getting my new job, my current job. When I got this current job, I moved into this house. When I moved into this house, I recently got engaged, and then I, fast forward a year, I just had my wedding in March of 2025. So, and then been focusing on my health and fitness, which has been put on the back burner. So I've just been stabilizing my own personal life, right? So like I said, I got my job is stable now, high paying job, stable. I got my primary residence now in a good location area we like to be in LA. So that's stable. We got our engagement, and then we went through our wedding, went through our honeymoon. We have vacations planned. So life is finally starting to look very, very stable. And, I call it boring, but it's stable, right? So now that things are more stable, it's been a really good time to really optimize my real estate portfolio as I plan to buy more new construction. As you know, I'm going to close on my 53rd unit next week, all cash, and I'm hoping to do a cash out refinance once it's rented out. So the moment it's rented out, I'm literally going to get my lender involved. I'm hoping to use Convoy if they give me the best terms to pull up my money. And then from there, basically, buy another deal and then rinse and repeat this process until we feel slightly depleted in our funds. At that point, we would probably stop and then, be good for a while. So during this optimization period, I optimized my life. I go to concerts again. We go to nice restaurants once a month now. We go on vacation, 2 big ones a year, 2 little ones in between. So about 4 trips a year. And, basically we're trying to live a very stress-free lifestyle. So I'm in the best shape I've been in my 30s, going to the gym consistently and for about all this year. So now I'm starting to finally see muscle growth. I'm a skinny guy naturally, welcome to being Vietnamese. At least my genes are small or skinnier, scrawny. There's some bigger Vietnamese guys out there that get muscle, not me. And then, basically everything is just very stable. The home is very stable. So, as we're planning, for kids, maybe next year if things go great, right? And then now I've been focusing on stabilizing my real estate, and by stabilizing and optimizing it, just getting more organized. So what I've been doing is that I've been converting a lot of my policies and getting quotes steadily. So, I've am becoming a partner steadily. So I'll drop you a link down below with my code. But from there, if you get a quote they're the number one landlord insurance provider. So you just punch in your name, your email, your number, your address, and usually instantaneously they'll give you a quote. Or if you don't get a quote or you have questions about the quote, usually not too long after that, someone will send you a text message, give you a call, or send you an email with an actual quote, and you can tweak things, right? So for me, I used to be really big on insurance, kind of overpaying for insurance, but as I've gotten more sophisticated, as I've built up my nest egg, as I built up my emergency reserve, I'm now trying to skimp on insurance. And by skimp, I mean I'm doing a $10,000 deductible. I used to do a $1,000 or $2,500 deductible, but I'm doing, you can get quotes for $5,000 versus $10,000. But generally, if you get a $10,000 deductible, it's going to be cheaper, right? Because if something happens, if a tornado hits your house, then you get to put $10,000 to get the deal, and I have that money, right? So you could do your own analysis, but for me, I want to save the money right now. I may change my mind later, and I can go to $5,000 deductible anytime, right? But right now, I'm just doing a $10,000 deductible because these are new constructions. It's lower risk. I'm not in hurricane areas. Yeah, Oklahoma and Alabama can get hit by tornadoes, but not hurricanes. So if that happened, I pay $10,000 and then I'll get a brand new house, right? And pay off my loan and get a brand new house. So, I've been really optimizing. So by switching 4 of my policies over to Steadily, I actually saved about, on average, $500 per property, because my prior insurance carrier, when I converted the property from under my name to an LLC, they charged me an additional $300 per year. But with Steadily, they work with landlords, so typically the property is owned in an LLC, so it doesn't charge you extra. So I converted 4 of my policies over to Steadily, and I saved about $2,000. I think about $500 each on average. Yes, I did lower some of the coverages, right, on top of that. But, you want to constantly be reassessing your policy. So every single year, even the ones that I think I converted my Huntsville, Alabama one I converted over Steadily, say 500. I got for my new 53rd unit I'm closing on, I'm using Steadily for that because they're the cheapest. And then I converted my property in Orange County over to Steadily. And then I think there was one more, or maybe not. But yeah, I converted, now I don't know why I'm blanking out. But yeah, I think I converted 4 policies and I saved on average $500 each. Sorry for that brain fart. I do these live, right? No script. So it's always worth getting a quote. And then even for the ones that they rejected, for some reason, they wouldn't insure, or I guess on my property in the Bay Area, for one of them, they couldn't beat my current quote. And then for the other one, they just wouldn't give me a quote on it, but then I'll be persistent and then submit it again, right? When I'm ready to submit that quote. For again, for every renewal, you always want to look at your insurance over and over and over again. So that's been great, right? I'm encouraging all my landlords to click the link and then, just search your property. And if you can save money, great. If you can't, then at least that your current policy is great, right? That's validating too, knowing that what you have is the cheapest. So either way, nothing to lose, zero cost. If anything, you can save money or just realize that you have the best policy, right? Those are the 2 options. So why not give it a try? So like I said, waiting for my link, and I'll drop it down below for you guys to get quotes on your rental properties, right? They specialize in 1 to 4 units. Not so much in 5+ units yet. I did ask them, when I did send a quote for my apartments, they would send me out to a related a broker that they were working with, and then they couldn't beat my current insurance. So, I figured I had the best policy there. So anyways, I've been optimizing my expenses. So which properties can I lower my expenses on through insurance? Which properties could I maybe raise my rents on, right? So I did raise rents on my single family homes within the past, just this year. And then, basically just making sure things are really optimized. And then the next thing I've been doing is trying to get more organized. So I just create a Google Excel doc, shared it with my wife, and then we have all of our properties on this Excel spreadsheet. So, I have the address, I have how much I bought it for, I have what my interest rate is, I have, most of them are 30-year fixed, but my 2 apartments are 10-year fixed. So I have when I start the loan and when the loan is due, right? Because in 10 years, I have to refinance it or sell the property, or there's a balloon payment due in 10 years. So I need to keep track of my balloons. And if you own multiple apartments, if I own 5 different apartment complexes with 5 different balloon dates, it's hard to keep track. So I got I bought it in August of 2021. So in August of 2031, my balloon's due. And then the other one was July 2023. So in July of 2033, my balloon's due, right? And then I have a 3-2-1 step down prepay. So if there's prepay on the property, I'll add those details as well. Actually, I just remind myself I need to add my prepay onto that, because it gets confusing, right? When you have so many properties and loans, what's my prepay? So I added that. I added what I think the ARV is based on today, so I can track the value of the properties. I put which LLC owns the company. I have so many LLCs at this point, 5 LLCs at this point. So as I get more, it just gets more and more confusing. So I have which LLC it's in. I have what bank am I lending it through, right? Is it US Bank? Is it Chase? Is it BMO? I have, is property tax insurance escrowed, right? So if it's escrowed, then I just put yes. If it's not escrowed, how do I pay the property tax? How am I paying the insurance to remind myself, right? So sometimes in Oklahoma, I have to log on to the tax assessor's website by myself and then make the payment, or my other property, my property management pays the property tax for me, right? And then for insurance, like sometimes they make me pay with credit card 1 year, or it's monthly and goes to the account directly. So I try to keep track of like everything and where it goes, right? Because like I said, it gets confusing. Like for me, I like to just escrow everything. If I can escrow property tax, if I can escrow insurance, that's the easiest way to do it. But like a lot of times, if you pay the insurance up front, they give you a 5% discount. Like steadily, that's what they offer. So like I'll take the 5% discount, and then after that, I just can escrow it into the account if I want ease of accounting. But if I can save 5%, like why not? Why not save 5% unless you want to spread that money out over time? If you don't have the capital, but it's just kind of nice to escrow it because you can see how much your all-in cost is, and then you can see what your cash flow is. So I have all that. And like I said, like for my mobile home park, which I have a note on, I have like, what's my payment? When's it due? How much deferred interest do they owe me? It's a 3-year note. And like, they're paying for my Bobcat, they're paying for my mobile homes, they're paying for the lawnmower. So I have like tracking, like, okay, like which account for each of these, because it gets complicated, right? And like, I always remember it off the top of my head, but it's nice to put it onto a document so that I don't have to memorize it. It takes a load off my mind, right? It takes a load off my mind so that when I look at it, I can take a quick look saying, okay, I want to refinance this one. Like I said, it gets harder as you own more and more. And I'm trying to buy a bunch of more single family homes here. It's going to be more complicated, but I'm just hoping to use the same lender for all of them. So if it's Convoy Home Loans, great. I'll use Convoy Home Loans for all my new construction burrs if it works for me, right? Or I'll use another company if it works for me as well. So that's one thing that I've been doing. So I'm just having this document, and then I put the cost of my insurance on there so that I'm constantly looking like, okay, I'm due for renewal. What's the cost of insurance? Is steadily beating it or not, right? And then if steadily beats it, great, I switch to steadily. If it doesn't, then I just keep my current policy and know that I have a good price. And then another thing that I've kind of been doing is tracking my profit and loss statement a little better, right? Like I have like my business account for my holding company, which most of my properties go through. The rent goes in there, income goes in there, but I also have like a separate account for my 26 unit, a separate account for my 20 unit. So like I need to get better at like tracking my P&L for all my properties. So I just create like a Google Excel document, and I have like each property. So property A for the month of August of 2025, what's my income, what's my expense, what's my net? And then if the net is negative, I conditioned it so that it makes it red. So it lights up. And then property number 2, income, expenses, net. Property 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goes down the list. And at the bottom, I have a total net. And if it's positive, if it's negative, it turns red. If it's not red, then it means that I'm making cash flow, because I want to track what my cash flow is now. Like I kind of know conceptually, I'm like probably about $8,000 to $10,000 a month, but I don't know, right? And then I can see which properties are cash flow negative, which ones I need to bump up rents on, to be more aggressive, to see what my portfolio looks like, right? So like I'm trying to track my P&L a little better. For my apartments, I get it. So it's easy, right? Like I get my P&L every single month for my apartments, but then that's just my 2 apartments, but that doesn't tie into like my single family homes, which, might be cash flow negative, right? Because I put a lot of money on my single family homes to go buy my apartments. So I want to see overall from all my real estate, excluding my primary residence, what am I? But if I'm truly making like $8,000 a month, that's enough to cover my house here, right? Because I pay about $700 to live here. So it's living here for free. So whatever money we make through W-2, that's our money, right? To spend or save or invest, like in oil or whatever, right? So I've been trying to get that more organized now to create better systems, because I figured like, oh my God, I'm gonna buy so many like properties, like single family homes, coming up. So like I want to keep organized and have everything in one spot. So in case something happens to me, like Christine knows where to look and manage it, and she adds her properties in there as well, so that we stay organized and we stay on top of it. And like you said, I don't want to memorize everything. I just want it there onto the Excel doc so that I can reference it, right? So, probably gonna add a column for like, is there a prepaid penalty in there? So anyways, this is a period of like optimization for me. Obviously I optimize my personal life, getting married, social life, having fun, living life. I live in LA, family planning, travel as much as I can, do whatever I can, work out as much as I can, do more cardio, just optimizing my life. Now I'm trying to organize my business, right? With like these two Excel documents that I shared with my wife. And then like just really optimizing my insurance, my expenses, making sure that I'm raising my rents on a consistent basis. Like, set a reminder to raise rents on like the Section 8 properties like once a year. And then from there, it's just, basically making sure that everything's up to speed, right? So it's like for Section 8, you have to raise rents every single year. So I need to put a reminder, when do I need to raise rents again? When do I need to raise rents again? And just put that constant reminder so that I can raise rents over and over again to optimize it. Because with Section 8, like the tenant pays the same, but Section 8 pays more. It pays a difference. So you just got to slowly raise your rents every single year and then remind yourself to raise the rents. So I need to add that to my Excel document as well, right? Just remembering these things. So anyways, hopefully you found value from this video. Sorry for the rant. Sorry for the brain fog. It's getting hot. It's a hot day, right? If you want one-on-one coaching, you want mentorship, you want to join my school community for $1 a day, click on my link tree down below. I have links to all the above. In my school community, I try to do about 2 to 3 live streams per month to answer your questions, to build a community, to help build wealth at a very affordable price of $1 per day. And if you click my link tree as well, you can send me an email. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.